Hey guys, so this is a radio I've been working on. It's the first time it's ever been shown on my channel. So I'll tell you a little about it. This is a Monitoradio MR-33. This was made in 1957. It is was a emergency band radio, but now it ran on the FM bands, which FM now is obviously just kind of the regular radio station. So you see, it goes from 30 all the way to 50. So yeah, I replaced a couple capacitors on that, and I'll show you the work I've done on it and how I done it. So yeah, let's get looking at it. So right here, first thing I gotta do is I gotta restring this dial when I'm done fully working on it. But yeah, let's just look at what I've done at the bottom part of it here. Alright, so right here is a sand resistor. Now I did not replace this. I thought it was bad originally because of this right here, but it's actually perfectly fine. I measured it and tested it, and it's an ohm, and it's supposed to be at 12,000 ohms. I did. It's perfectly fine. Right here, I need to replace this capacitor. Now it reads at 46 microfarads when it's supposed to be at 47. So I do need to get that one replaced. So yeah, I'll get that one replaced soon. Then right here is a little capacitor I placed right here. This is a 0.01. There was originally a 0.01 in here, like one of these, but it was bad, surprisingly. This one's fine, but it was bad. So, yes, I know, it's not the best looking job, but it's what I had on hand, so I did it. I just took some wire, attached it to the leads, soldered it to where it needed to go. Alright, this right here was a 2 microfarad capacitor. Originally it was like this right here. This is what this one was originally. It's 2 microfarad paper cap, about one of the few paper caps in this unit. Placed it with a non-polarized, so there was no negative or positive, but it works fine. I replaced this, what was a 3 microfarad, but reading schematics, it seems like this, it's not original to the radio, because this was originally supposed to have a 2 microfarad. It was supposed to be up right here, but it was down at the bottom down there. So I replaced it with a 2.2 microfarad, and this is replaced with also 2.2. So it's alright. You can go up in the microfarad just a little bit, and the voltage is good. It's exactly the same, so it's good on that. Right here is a replacement for this can right there. That is a electrolytic can, which we'll take a look at that right here. It's an electrolytic can. Now, back in the 50s, 60s, 40s, they used to like to stuff all the capacitors into one little can back then. So when repairing them nowadays, since we don't do that anymore, you have to individually replace them with individual capacitors. Back then they would stuff it all in this can and have wire leads going. Common ground. So what that means is it's grounded directly to the chassis, as you see right there. This would have originally been, this would be a capacitor, which would be a 20 microfarad at 25 volts, and it would be wired from there and come to this. So I replaced it with a 22 microfarad, also 25 volts. It's grounded to right there, which is just coming off of this one originally. Now that's perfectly fine. Since it's disconnected on the positive end, it's just grounded, so it's not going to affect any electronics in here. So I can just literally, if I wanted to, cut the wires off all these leads and leave this in here and just have the ground, and it'd be perfectly fine, which is what I'm going to do when I replace it with capacitors. I don't have to have this long wire lead. I can just solder it directly to the spots and just have it grounded right there on the chassis, which is what I'm going to do. So that's what I replaced this one right here. Like I said, I just used a wire to come up over here, go up under this, and ground it, and that's in there good. That was hard to get replaced. Getting up in this little tight area, I had to push this back and was soldering up in there, but I finally got it done. This capacitor right here has a negative end, and it's pretty easy to connect the negative on here. It's easy to tell. Negative always comes to a ground. because negative is always grounded. Now, this is grounded right there. It is making contact with that. I just don't want... I didn't solder it on there. I can get back in here and redo this by pushing this back just a little bit and then soldering it on right there. But it's fine. It is good. So that is what I'm working on right now. So basically I have 3 capacitors replaced. I can update video on when I do that. Now, if you're curious on why there's no ends coming out on these, is because I might restuff them. Now what restuffing means is, back then the old capacitors had a piece of paper, cardboard shell like this wrapped around it. And let me grab one of the old capacitors over here if I can see it. Here it is. So this right here would go inside. Dropped it. This is right there would go inside that originally, and all the information would be on the outside, and this would just be in there. And this is what it looks like. That's what would be inside that. And if you want to keep it looking original, you can take this, you can put that capacitor inside there, and it will look original. So I am considering doing that, but I'm not going to do that until this thing is working. Once it's working, then I'll go back in there and do that. But until it's working, it's going to look like this, so you can see what I replaced. And in case easy access, if something fails, like if this needed to be moved back, I would have to worry about this and all. So yeah, this can be replaced. Like I said, this is perfectly fine. I clipped the leads, so it's real weird, but I got it good. And they're good. Now this gets warm. That's what it's supposed to do. It's a sand resistor, and it's supposed to get warm, so no worries about that. A lot of these little resistors are perfectly fine. These really don't go bad. I mean, they do, but since there wasn't many wax capacitors, there's many of these disc types in here, this set is really easy. It's, like I said, from 57. Yeah, so let's stop the jibber jabber, and I'll show you what it does. Now let's get into what it does real fast. So, basic power cord on here. Just 2-prong power cord. Let me set the camera down before I can plug it in real fast. Alright, we got it plugged in. So let's go ahead and turn it on. This is the volume / power, squelch, and tuner. I gotta restring the tuner, so that doesn't tune it. To tune it right now, I have to turn this right here. That tunes it. So yeah, let's go ahead and turn it on. Dial lights work, good sign. Here, watch the tubes. You already see that this one right here is lining up. That one is also warm. They're all warm, so they're all good tubes. Alright. There's the speaker right there. That's what I'm getting out of it. It's a hum right there. Here, let's turn that down. So that's what's coming out of it, is that hum right there. And, well, not hum, static. And it actually is kind of drawing in a station, because if you listen closely to the speaker when I do this, very loud. Listen. You can see that it just quiets down when I tune it towards that direction, and it's louder on here. So, yeah, that's what it does. It needs restringed, but because like I said, I can't turn that. I have the actual string and little pointer to it, because it just busted while it was in there. Here was what, like clip down to the bottom right here, and tune it would slide along like that. And I gotta completely restring it. The string was just broken. It is right here. Gotta get this completely restringed. So that's gonna be the last thing I do on this set. First, I'm gonna get fully functional. And capacitors I'm using, some of them are ones I got in the auction lot. They're the old stock that came in parts lots. And the other are ones I salvaged from VCRs, a VCR and some radios. So yeah, that's why the leads are so short on them, and I have to wire them like that sometimes. But yeah, this works really great. This, at the moment, is working good. By working good, I mean it's actually making sound and it seems fine, so I'm real happy about it. Like I said, all tubes are good in it, which is a good sign. Now, I have a bunch of spare tubes if one of these was bad. Now, you might not see them line up because, well, they have some dust on them, and I will clean the unit once I get it going. So, yeah, this is a project I'm working on now, and I've made good progress. Originally, the speaker just hummed. You didn't get the stack coming through, it was just a humming sound like that. Clean the controls, just use some CRC QD electronic cleaner. This nice little nozzle right there. Just sprayed the control knobs down there. I cleaned the tube sockets by spraying that in the tube sockets and cleaning it out. So this is coming along nicely. And once I get going, and once I get some stuff replaced on it, I'll make a video on that, and I'll show you guys progress. Hope you guys enjoy. Have a good day.